And Ken Blanchard, who wrote those books called the 1 Minute Manager books. And he said to me very early in my life, he said, Tony, he said, a business will always consume whatever's available. And he said, I see you're coming out with your first book. I was 24, and it was Unlimited Power. And he goes, you're coming out with this book. I think it's gonna be a big success. Do not put that money in your business. Take that money and put it into a separate investment account that nobody else touches. He said, I'm telling you, the business will get all the benefit of all the media, of all the things that come to it, but the actual dollars of that should stay out. He said the same thing when I had an infomercial. He said, take that money and put it aside. Well, it was some of the best advice I'd ever gotten in my entire life, because I put it aside, and there were times that money was needed. But I was like putting it in a chapel. It was like putting it where it was sacred money and it was not going to be touched. If someone came along and said, you have no money for your business, but guess what? Obama just raised the taxes 20% more for your business, you'd scream, you'd yell, you'd be upset, and you'd pay it. So why not put your family first? Why not have a portion of what you own, or what you earn, I should say, for yours to keep? It doesn't go to Kate Spade, it doesn't go to Wall Street, it goes to your family. And the way you do that is you tax yourself. It's a wealth tax. You go, that's my freedom fund, and that comes off the top, and the secret is automated so you don't see it. That's really the most important. Now, do you think those people that are out there working out 5 days a week, do they have more time than you do? Or I have, or anybody else? Of course not. Is their life less busy? Of course not. It's just a must for them. They must work out that way, and they've made that turn and their life's changed. So I'm not saying you have to work out 5 days a week. I'm just saying whatever you really want, wants don't get met consistently. Standards do. Whatever you identify, this is who I am. And so it's not so much about changing your identity as there's expanding it. Deciding that, instead of your goals to lose 10 pounds, which is not compelling, what if your vision was to get back to my fighting weight? This year, this month, this next 90 days, I'm gonna transform my body. I'm gonna take on a new challenge. I'm gonna find some technique or strategy, there's a million of them, that can reframe myself where I want to feel younger, stronger, more vibrant than ever before. Here's my reasons. Because I want the energy to really make my life work. Because it's tough out there and I want to be stronger than I've ever been before. I want to go in front of the mirror, and if I'm naked, not, want to laugh. I want to look there and take a good look and go, yeah, I'm proud of whatever I see there. Whatever it takes, something's gonna make you laugh, smile, something that's gonna tease yourself, but something's gonna move you to another level. If you identify yourself in a new way and you own that every day, and that becomes the standard of how you live, you'll find the way to make that standard real. Money's the same way. Think about it, it doesn't matter what's happening, quote unquote, in the marketplace. People that make money find a way to make money no matter what, don't they? Most people's standard is to pay their bills. So that's what most people find a way to do, even when economic times get tough. Most people, if that's their absolute standard, they find a way. Some people's standard is pay their bills most of the time. And so most of the time they do. Some people's standard is not just to pay their bills, but to take care of their family and maybe even some of their friends. And they find a way. In fact, some people may be in a family where they don't have enough money. They barely have money to pay their bills. They work their guts out. And then somebody, their mother, their father, somebody else, their sister gets ill, and there's not enough money to take care of it. Nobody else has money in the family. They don't either, but they find a way to get that money to take care of their mother or father, don't they? And pay their bills. They never could do it before. Why? The situation made them raise their own standard. And not everybody does that. Somebody else in the family might have money and still not take care of their mother. It all comes down to the inner game, my friends. Changing your life is a change in the inner game. The outside world you can't control, but you have absolute control over this one if you learn the dynamics of what shapes you. And identity is one of those simple, clear, fundamental basics that if you start to shift it, everything else will shift in your life as well. Some people, by the way, have to have more than enough money to do what they want, when they want, where they want, with whomever they want, contribute the way they want. And if that's their must, they find a way. I know that sounds overly simplistic, but it's true.
Your morning routine is so fundamentally important to the quality of your attention and the character of your performance that you get to live through that day. A lot of people, they wake up. I was in a hotel recently in Los Angeles, and I saw people on the treadmills, which is fantastic. Again, not judging, just reporting. And they were walking on the treadmills, but they were watching the news. I see a lot of people early in the morning, they're drinking their coffee and they're scanning their email. A lot of people, the first thing they do in the morning, they check their social media feeds. Well, you can do what the majority does, or you can change the world and be legendary. You don't get to do both. You know, one of my favorite brain tattoos that I've been sharing for so many years is, to have the results only 5% of the planet has, you've got to be willing to do what 95% of the population is unwilling to do. And the single best thing I encourage you to do is make a commitment right here and right now to spend the next 66 days. That's the research of University College of London. They say it takes 66 days to install a new habit. Spend the next 66 days installing the habit of joining the 5 a.m. Club. As you know, I've been evangelizing and passionate about the 5 a.m. Club for over 2 decades, and that concept has helped my billionaire clients and my sports superstar clients and members of royalty that I've mentored for so many years. Joining the 5 a.m. Club and then running the 20-20-20 formula that I'll walk you through in my book, The 5 a.m. Club, that is the mother of all habits. Getting up early and running the 20-20-20 formula during your victory hour from 5 to 6 o'clock, so that by 6 o'clock you have optimized your neurobiology, you've optimized your emotionality, so you're full of gratitude, and you've purified your heart set, and you're feeling happy, and you've processed through pain, and then working through your health set, so you have all of this vitality. And remember that 4th interior empire that I teach in the book, escalating your soul set, so you have turned down the voice of your ego and connected with your higher nature and your true wisdom and that inner warrior inside every one of us. Well, that 5 a.m. Club process really is one of the single best ways to beat digital distraction. Why? Because you're anchored in your strength. Why? Because getting up before the sun rises is where the great saints and the true warriors play.
That's what hope is. Imagining and then fighting for and then working for what did not seem possible before. That's leadership. John F. Kennedy didn't look up at the moon and say, oh, that's too far. There is a moment in the life of every generation when that spirit of hopefulness has to come through if we are to make our mark on history.
I believe that the answers come from within and we're not asking the right questions. I feel we're always looking for the right answers, not the right question. And the biggest companies that we respect today, the biggest organizations, all came from trying to answer a question. It all came from trying to solve a problem or a question that we were able to identify. So my work comes from a very simple study that I read that said the most successful people in the world choose education over entertainment, and the most unsuccessful people in the world choose entertainment over education.
Why is it that most people don't pursue their dreams or don't do better than what they're doing if they're capable of doing it? I think that many of us don't go the next step because we don't know what to do yet. And I say that the reason that we don't even explore the possibility of what to do is because subconsciously we don't believe that it can happen for us, and we don't believe that we deserve it. So here's what I'm suggesting. How much time do you spend working on you? How much time do you spend every day working on your dream? In the last 90 days, how many books have you read? In the last year, what new skill or knowledge have you acquired? What kind of investment have you made in you?
So the question is not I can't, is either you don't want to, and that's perfectly fine. Then don't say I can't. Just say I don't want to. Decide, commit. When you say, well, I can't, does that mean you don't know how to do it? Because you could go get the how to. There's so much how to on the internet. You could go find a way. You can take a program, go to an event, learn from a mentor, do something. You have the abilities.
The finish line always moves. You never arrive there, right? I talk about living in a state of blissful dissatisfaction, and the more we can begin to reward ourselves with bliss, we're not going to lose our dissatisfaction. It's important that we celebrate our wins, we celebrate our lives, because it causes us to want the next bite. It keeps us hungrier, not the reverse.
You must remove temptation if you are going to have self-discipline. You have to remove the temptation. It's really, really subtle. One of the things is by examining the way you think and how you act,
we can become indecisive, have self-doubt, and simply fail to act.